going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the vlog. It's 2023. I hope you've had a fantastic New Year's and a good Christmas period. It's been ages since I did a video, which is how I open up every video, but today we're getting the GTR ceramic coated, and we've got another exciting thing planned as well, which hopefully will come to fruition. But anyway, yeah, the GTR, if you remember, was ceramic coated in 2020 by Aspect. Obviously they guarantee their ceramic for 5 years, which I think parts of it do last that long, and certainly if your car was garaged, not exposed to the weather constantly, that 5-year number will probably be more true. However, my car, because I'm an idiot and haven't bought a house and garage yet, isn't garaged and is exposed to the weather constantly, so I think the ceramic's probably worn down a bit prematurely. So we're going to give it a little bit of a detail today, quick clay bar because the paint's already in very good nick, and then give it another layer of ceramic all over the car to protect it. So yeah, of course, like I said, nothing wrong with the job that Aspect did back in the day. The only reason I moved detailers was because of locality, and Unit 7 is much closer to me, which is obviously important with 2 cars. I need to get detailed regularly, hence the move. But yeah, obviously, love Aspect. They were great. If you're in that area, head towards them. If you're not, head towards Unit 7. If you're in my area, I'll put links to both their sites in the description below, basically. But yeah, no fault of Aspect, just the fact that my car has a rather hard life sat out in the sun all the time, or in the rain, or in the horrible English weather, basically means the ceramic needs a top up. But yeah, they did a fantastic job last time, paint's in great nick, so hopefully it won't be too much work for Steve at Unit 7 today to just get a little bit of a clay bar over the car, because there's virtually no swirling, and sort it out with another layer of ceramic, which will be lovely. And additionally, right, this is the good bit. We're almost there, by the way. The good bit is I've actually booked a test drive today. I don't plan on buying this vehicle. The dealership's aware of that. There's a slim chance, I said, obviously, if I absolutely fall in love with it, I might sell this and the Bentley, or just the Bentley. We'll see how it goes. Probably just the Bentley. I don't think I'd ever get rid of the GTR. There's no hope I'm going to love it enough to get rid of the GTR, but I'm test driving the new Lotus Emira. Super excited. Obviously 3.5 litre V6, manual gearbox, it's a first edition. Toyota powertrain, so going to be super reliable, and from what I've seen of it already in person, the Emira's fit and finish is absolutely fantastic, and it really is where Lotus should have been this whole time, in my opinion. They've really caught up with other manufacturers. Panel finish, fitment, everything looks great. All the touch points look fantastic, so hopefully I'm going to thoroughly enjoy test driving that. And obviously there's a slim chance that I would put a deposit down if I absolutely love it, but I would have to absolutely love it, and the dealership's aware that I'm probably not going to want to step out of my 2 vehicles at the moment, because the GTR and the Bentley I absolutely love. I think they're fantastic vehicles, and I've thoroughly enjoyed owning them, so I feel like getting rid of them would be a bit of a shame, especially with the amount of effort I've put into both of them. The Bentley specifically more recently has had obviously a lot of attention where I've been restoring it, and it's nearly at a level where I'm happy with it now, so it's a bit silly to get rid of it just after I've spent basically the value of the car fixing it and making it look nice. So. So while the GTR is over at Unit 7 at Hendy Lotus Southampton getting prepped, that's Steve over there who's going to be doing the car. Really excited to see what that's going to look like with the fresh ceramic coat. I'm really excited for it to be prepped and looking nice again, and knowing that it's protected is just peace of mind. But more excitingly for you guys, and what we're test driving today, is the new Lotus Emira. I've confirmed they're happy for me to film. We're at Hendy Lotus Southampton is what they've changed their branding to. It's in the Eastleigh area. And yeah, nice and local for me, which is hence why I get my cars cleaned here. But they're also a performance specialist and a Lotus dealership, and the new Lotus dealership they've just sort of sprung up is absolutely amazing inside. I'll show you a few shots of that. But obviously here is their demo model of the new Lotus Emira. So let's go over some specs, this spec specifically, and why I think this is a car, if you're an investor or a true hooligan, it should be a car you're really considering as your next sports car. Not quite supercar, although aesthetically pretty supercar-like. Mid-engine, you know, pretty low to the ground, coupe, looks lovely, and the fit and finish is awesome. So this one's looking a little grubby, hence all the test drives it's been on, but nonetheless you can still see the absolute quality that Lotus have gone to with this car. The panel fitment is pretty damn good, certainly a lot better than that of what I've seen on a lot of the more modern McLarens. No offence to any McLaren fanboys, but I do think the fit and finish on this is slightly nicer, despite the basically half the price tag of the actual McLarens out there, like the 600 LT, because this thing is a first edition, so because it's fully spec'd, you're looking at around, I think, £76,000, £77,000. So engine wise, we're talking a 3.5 litre supercharged V6. I thought it was turboed, but it's not, it's supercharged. So hopefully we'll get a little bit of induction whine off the supercharger there. But the engine itself is mounted in the middle of the car at the back. So it is a mid-engine design, rear-wheel drive, and of course manual. This is the first edition and not the version that's coming out with the AMG's 4-cylinder engine. Personally, I would go for one of these, mainly because it's the last true Lotus engine, and by that I mean Toyota powertrain, nice and reliable, and it's just a little bit bigger. I know the horsepower number will be the same as the turbocharged Merc engine, basically. There won't be much in it. However, for the manual box and the proper Lotus powertrain that pays a bit of homage to the Lotus's brand history, I think this is the spec to go for, and if I was going to be getting one, this is certainly the options I would go for. The key actually looks fantastic as well, very modern. It's plastic and not metal, however it looks metal and feels quite substantial. We unlock the car, it's got similar door handles to the GTR, and we can have a first look at the interior. Door handles pop out like that, not scissor doors unfortunately, because it's not a Lamborghini, but a very nice interior indeed. Obviously 6-speed manual spec. You've got the Alcantara steering wheel. Personally I spec the leather just because it's a touch point, and Alcantara leather seats, and my favourite feature, a visible gear linkage at the bottom of the car down there. You've got a nice heads-up display virtual cockpit thing there, which reminds me a lot of my Audi TT back in the day, as well as a centre screen for your infotainment and maps and the like. And obviously there are a lot of different spec options. You can spec different seats, different stitching colours, and obviously paint-wise, I'll show you my spec that I choose later on. I'm hoping I don't fall in love with this thing, so I really can't afford this, and I'd have to get rid of the Bentley, and I'm very sad, but it just looks awesome. Nice little touch points like the Emira logo on the air vents there. It's just, the fit and finish is just absolutely fantastic, and I think where Lotus should be now for their competitors. Even the door speaker cutouts are absolutely beautiful looking. Look at the cutouts on that bit of aluminium there, just really nice finish. I'm really impressed with that. I love the gearbox.
Nice and tight and notchy,
very, yeah, notchy with short throw.
Yeah.
I might have to get rid of the Bentley, you know.
Lovely figure though.
Yeah, it's fast apart past my expectations, of course. So
you've got Apple CarPlay, you've got DME radio.
Has it got Android Auto?
Yeah, sorry,
nice.
yeah, Android Auto. So,
nice,
yeah.
cool. I've got both, but I prefer Android.
But this is what I said the other day with the fit and finish, just the way that it's put together.
Yeah, it's like this, even the stitching's nice and straight.
Yeah.
It's lovely, really nice. I'd definitely spec the leather steering wheel, not the Alcantara though.
Alcantara's lovely until
it's not, yeah.
And then you never get it back, do you?
No, so I'd definitely go leather.
Yeah.
I've spent like an hour on the configurator and I've done my spec.
Yeah.
I think I'd probably go the Verde green,
Lovely.
Tan interior,
Yeah.
sports spec with the Michelin Cup 2s,
Yeah.
and red calipers.
Yeah, amazing. Lovely leather body with it. Feels so well planted, though, doesn't it? That left here, mate.
Down Pulse Lane, local racetrack.
This is the one.
The 120 get out for front of it. MR2's following us.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't break traction easy, does it?
No. It will do if you wanted to.
Yeah, you have to be quite aggressive with the clutch,
Yeah.
I imagine, clutch up a bit. But
And then it's
then that was quite an aggressive roll on it. It didn't perturb it at all.
and it's quite wet underneath as well.
Yeah, that's
so,
why I did it. I thought, let's see what it's like. It was, yeah.
You would have been all sorts of sideways if you were in an exceed, wouldn't
Well, that fuel cut-off's aggressive.
Just that sound.
No, that's pretty good when you get up there. You've just got to bring it, haven't you?
Yeah. Oh shit, yeah.
Right.
The sound of that through, like, this is why I love coming through that bit as well.
Yeah. Oh, and in sixth, like motorway driving.
Crazy, isn't it?
It's so usable. It's such, it's just it's like in every car to everyone.
Yeah.
Bar people who want to put like fishing tackle in the boot.
That's it, as long as you...
Yeah, all I carry is my map. That's it. I don't need any space.
Try that behind you, innit?
Yeah. Well guys, the GTR ceramic is just curing now. Pretty much dries instantly anyway. We've got the heat lamps at the side there just to speed up the process, but it's basically done. As you can see from those beautiful beauty shots I just did, the lovely B-roll, the exhaust tips, I sat at the back of the car and I polished with some chrome polish, hence the grubby fingernails, until they were chrome again, which I thought was super important because it makes the car look like a new car. I love having like full chrome tips. It just looks just on point. But yeah, ceramic's done. And I also thoroughly enjoyed the Lotus. So let's go head back home, take this beauty back to the back to the flat. A flat with the GTR, so ridiculous. Back to the flat, and we'll spec up a Lotus Emira, and I'll talk about my thoughts on driving that. But I hope you enjoyed the video of the POV, sort of POV drive. Really nice car, thoroughly enjoyed it, but we'll get more into that in a sec. But in the meantime, the GTR has been paint corrected, a few scratches buffed out, headlights buffed. All of the rubber trim has been cleaned off thoroughly, clay barred, ceramic coated, and it is looking absolutely ridiculous. One other thing is when it's in a really scrutinising light like this, in a really scrutinising light bay, you can actually see any imperfections on the car. So you can see things like the tiny little bit of, I don't know if you'll be able to catch it on camera, see it there, the little dot in the middle? That's a bit of lacquer peel from tree sap. The little imperfections really sharp, and the fact that there are virtually none of those other than that, shows you what sort of condition this car is in. It's just absolutely stunning. There's virtually no imperfections other than that tiny bit of lacquer peel. And you notice things you haven't seen before, like this line here. I never noticed, but this line reading off the windows, I thought it was a paint imperfection at first, but it's not. This line is actually one of the like trafade bits that leads back to the wing for the aero. Absolutely insane, but you can really see all the details and all the engineering work that went into this beautiful car when you put it under light like this and give it a thorough clean. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed that video of me test driving the Lotus Emira. I thought I'd quickly run through a spec that I'd spec it for if I was buying one. Unfortunately, I'm not. I liked it a lot, but I think the 80 grand price tag, pretty much with spec and everything for the first edition, is a little steep. But it is a special car, so I can understand why it costs that much. And the fit and finish certainly means the car is up there aesthetically and fitment-wise with cars in that price bracket, and maybe even looks a little more expensive. Drives fantastically. And is a really cool supercharged V6 powertrain. Really cool car, but let's spec one and see what you guys think of my spec choices. So of course, here we have the Lotus Emira configurator. Really cool tool, really nicely laid out. Up there with the other competitors in this price range, I'd say, in terms of how well this is laid out. Now, I drove the supercharged V6 today with the 6-speed manual. Definitely how you should spec a Lotus. Manual gearbox, necessary. And the fact that it's got a nice V6, you know I'm a big fan of V6s, being a GTR fanboy. Yeah, no, really cool engine powertrain. If you get the i4 turbocharged, it's actually a Mercedes powertrain out of the A45 AMG. It's going to be an automatic gearbox. Probably more tunable, to be honest, and a little bit better on fuel. It's probably a slightly more refined package. However, I don't feel it's very truthful to the Lotus's heritage. And I think the V6 supercharged with the extra displacement, the whine of the supercharger, the extra engine noise is something that I would personally think is a mandatory thing to have. And in the first edition, of course, all of them come with the V6 supercharged. I'm going to spec it with the manual, be my choice. I'd have the sports spec instead of the touring spec. The difference there, I believe, is Michelin Cup 2 tyres instead of Goodyear Eagle F1s. More track focused, less rain runoff, much more dry weather tyres. What I run on the GTR, lovely tyres, absolutely fantastic. And I believe the other difference is the suspension setup. Touring is softer, but again, it's just what the coilovers are set to, so you can adjust that after you purchase the car, as opposed to being stuck with what one you pick. But again, if you pick sports, it's going to be more slammed to the ground and a harder ride from the factory, but again, handle better, which is what you want with a car like this, because it does handle superbly. Paint wise, while I drove a blue one today, I would go dark verdant, and I think this one, when I change the environment to being outside in the sunlight, you see how lovely this colour looks. Let's get this to load up properly. There we go. Look how fantastic that like dark British racing green is with the pearl. Really highlights the lines on the car. That's the colour I would go for by choice. There are a few other options that I think are nice, but definitely the blue really suits the lines of the car, but I'm not a big fan of blue cars in general. Some of the greys look nice. The red also suits it weirdly, and the yellow. To be honest, all of the paint options look good, but for me, dark verdant, the green, definitely what I would want. I'm not sure what the black pack includes, but I'm presuming it'll black out some of the chrome on the car. Let's have a look at the rear. I reckon it'd probably change that. Yeah, so it basically de-chromes the car. I like a bit of chrome, you know. Actually, no, black pack goes well with the dark green. Black pack it is. Wheels and brakes, I actually like the standard forged wheels. I think they're perfectly nice with the diamond cut faces. They're 20 inch no matter what spec you go for, I believe. But caliper wise, I would definitely, so I'd keep the standard wheels, but caliper wise, definitely red calipers with the green paint. Matches the rear lights, just think it finishes the look off really nice. If you see it from the side, really highlights the contrast between the paint and the calipers. And then interior spec, tan seats definitely would be my choice. British racing green with tan seats, just quintessentially British with the car being Lotus. Even though it's a Toyota powertrain, it just makes it more of a British sports car. I think I like the tan seats in contrast with the green exterior. I think this would probably be the naughtiest spec you can do. I absolutely love it. Let's have a look at the interior quick. So the tan seats, you can change the colour of the leather stitching, but I think with the tan seats it's fine. One thing you can't see in the pictures on the inside, unfortunately, is the gear linkage down here, because the gear linkage is actually like exposed at the bottom underneath, which is really cool, so you can actually hear and see the gears changing as you move the shifter around. Really nice gearbox. Clutch is quite heavy. All of the controls, I would say, feel quite heavy, quite substantial, yet the clutch is actually relatively forgiving. I didn't stall the car once, although I did mess up one second gear shift. I swear I had the clutch depressed, but synchros were having none of it. So yeah, obviously need a bit more practice to be driving it, rolling through the gears like that. However, really nice gearbox, super short throw, really tight feeling, absolutely fantastic. And I think with that lovely tan interior, it'd just be such a nice place to be. Obviously, it's got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. I think you have to plug it in, and it's not over Bluetooth. But yeah, cool, nice to have, nice features. And the whole infotainment system felt very intuitive. And yeah, the chassis itself was very taut, very tight. Felt very stuck to the road. It didn't have too much power to overwhelm the chassis at all. It felt very balanced. And I think that's what Lotus is going with. Not the fastest car in the world. Not a straight line monster. Not probably the fastest around a track. However, it's so perfectly balanced. You can really get the rear end out. And you can really just feel connected to the road. And the throttle, when you apply a lot of throttle, it doesn't overwhelm the car. It's just a super balanced car. I think that's the word I'd use to describe it most, is balanced. Well built, substantial and balanced. Heavy for a Lotus, I'd imagine, having not driven other ones, because it did feel quite, again, substantial, very solid, well put together, very rigid, very well stuck to the road. However, fantastic car in terms of poise and balance. And I think this spec here, I'm hoping you'll all agree, is the optimal spec for a Lotus Emira. Black pack, Verde paint, tan interior, V6 supercharged with the manual box, and red brake calipers. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I've never ended a video before on webcam. It's a bit weird. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. GTR ceramic looks fantastic. Huge shout out to Unit 7 Detailing, linked below, in order to book in with him. He's great, absolutely fantastic. So GTR ceramics protected and looking amazing with the chrome tips on the exhaust back. Oh, I love the chrome tips. And I thoroughly enjoyed driving the Lotus. Overall, very good day. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe for all more stuff coming up in 2023. I hope you had a good new year, and best of luck with your resolutions. And I will see you soon with more content to come. Peace out.